What? Howdy, partners. My name is Sam. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to properly saddle a horse. She's being a little bit stubborn. This is my horse, Shiloh. We've had her for about 4 or 5 years now, and she's pretty good. So a couple of key things to keep in mind when you're around a horse just for safety. Always want to be, oddly enough, as close as possible to them, because that way if they try to kick or anything like that, they won't be able to because you're stopping them. If you're walking around behind them, put your hand on their butt so they know that you're there. Just like that. Want her to move over, you just push her. And that is, look, you can hear my other one talking. And that is just safety when you're around the horse. So let's begin. The first thing you want to do when you're saddling a horse is brush her. And for time's sake, we've already done that. Knock it off. We have already brushed her. So let's begin saddling. You always want to start with a saddle pad. That's what this here looks like. You see these 3 parts. This will go middle of her back, and these want to be even on her sides. This keeps her from chafing when the actual saddle is on her. You want to bring it up to about halfway in between her front legs. Measure down, it should be right in the middle of her leg. You want to come back here, and you want to make sure that on both sides, it's at an even length. So the saddle pad looks good. Now we're going to throw the actual saddle on her. Now, saddles are pretty heavy, and I'm pretty little. So, you want to be on the other side of her to throw it on. So I'm going to throw it on from over here. And it just sits right up there pretty nicely. Right behind. The saddle itself sits right behind the original patch that we were working with to make sure that it was on the middle of her back. That's where it sits, and then from there you can let everything fall down. This right here is the cinch. It's going to be the tightest part. It's really what keeps it on. We have the back cinch, which typically you want it to be pretty loose. Not so loose. My parents always say not so loose that you can fit a pig in it, but you don't want it to be too tight. And then this is the breast collar. We'll go right around her like this. And if you could follow me to the other side of her. Again, make sure that you're putting your hand on her butt as you walk by if you're getting close. This is where the actual tightening of it will be. So first of all, she's getting a little bit hungry because she doesn't like that we're saddling her like this. So I'm going to have one of you come feed her some grain. So do I have a volunteer? Perfect. All right, just stand right here beside her. And then just let her stick her nose in there and eat. She's going to fight a little bit, but be okay. So you always want to start with the breast collar. This one here. And if you can see, if you can come over here and see a little bit, you always want it to be right there on the middle of her chest. That's where it sits. And then it comes right up through here. This hole right here. You take it and you just strap it through. This saddle is a little bit loose on her, but that's okay. All right, and then of course we have the front cinch again that we talked about. That's going to be the tightest. Now, this is what you want to loop the front cinch to, and you just kind of just stick it right through there, and you loop it a couple of times. But you want to keep it loose at first, because horses, a lot of times when you're saddling them, they kind of hold their breath and bubble out. And so it won't be tight enough if you tighten it right away. So you want to just kind of do something like that, leave it here, and then tighten it when you're actually going to get on her. Now we move to the back cinch. This comes right down here. And again, you want to keep it loose, but not loose enough to fit a pig in. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in this hole right here. Maybe. All right. And then there's just one final step to finishing up the saddle on her. Back to this breast collar here. See, we have this clip. I don't know if you can see it very well, but this actually clips all the way down here to her front cinch. Now, Shiloh is a really good horse, so you can do this with her. You can get down by her legs like this, and I trust that she's not going to do anything to me, but you got to know your horse before you do something like that because you are in a dangerous spot. If they start kicking or try to run away or something, you are right down here in a bad area. So you just want to make sure that you are safe around your horse again. That is how you saddle a horse. And do we have any questions, or does anybody want to come up and pet her? Anything like that? All right, good job, Shiloh. So that is how you saddle a horse. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something from it.